Concerning the recruitment of new boys in Whitechapel, I think I found one. Albie, he's as stupid as a tool, but tough. Asking to prove to me he could get some drugs for the black market and deliver quickly and nicely. Next time we meet, I'll tell him he's accepted as a wet poop boy, and he must now meet the bosses to get his orders. Well, that was fun.
If you spot one, fire. Cross the leads, boys!
Looks like it's just you and me, buddy. Somebody said my wrath will consume you.
I cannot enter.
Oh, I cannot go that way. It means I must go a different way. What's in here? Yeah, let's upgrade that. Common handle part 0 of 3. Well, okay then, let's not upgrade that. Tasty.
See them fancy clothes? It's one of them! It's hey!
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Nope. That's not gonna happen. Oh man, there's a lot of these guys.
He's mine! I'll take it!
That's cheating. Alright, you wanna shoot people, do you? That's how you shoot people.
When did you join the guard? 2 days ago. This is my first patrol.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Large box of pills. Right on. I think he did.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert! Stop it!
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital?
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate.
I'd like to see what...
Yeah, you ain't got nothing I want.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for
There is no Dorothy Crane.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right...
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Where did he go?
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes.
Girl, your
I
robe
saw
got
him
some
drifting around St.
horrible
Mary's Church.
graphics going
I swear
on
he is
that.
tracking me just downwind.
Damn.
It's locked, all right. I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a...
I'm Dr. Reed. I would like...
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. You...
Have you heard of a
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse.
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supply.
How is business?
Business? I have no business.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and...
Violence is...
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out
Where did this happen?
in the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell.
Right then. Show me what you...
Yeah, I don't need anything you have.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few...
Another journalist?
I'm not a journalist.
A doctor, you say?
Really? But still, here I am.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for...
Have you heard of...
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her.
Could you please tell me...
She's a nice girl.
According to you, physicians are scared...
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you?
This part of town does have quite a reputation.
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent...
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes...
How did you become the local...
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards.
A job? So you're...
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Most people don't become thugs.
I don't care what you think, sir.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your...
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as
Goodbye, Mr. P.
Excuse me.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in the...
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed.
I'm convinced there is more at work.
Really? To be...
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza?
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be...
It's a disgrace. People are left to...
These are bad times indeed.
What is a journalist doing in this borough?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
That's quite honorable.
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an
So you risk your life to reveal the...
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories.
I heard you're investigating an underground...
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you...
I'm a doctor, Mr. Dunn.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that are scattered?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Dunn.
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was...
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nithercott, who sometimes comes by.
Where can I find this Mr...
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel.
Goodbye, Mr. Dart. Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son.
I am Dr. Jonathan...
A scientist.
Have you any...
No. But I have a disciple
Where did you send...
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the
As a true believer, Samuel will...
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and can't...
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you?
I am. But the... What do you mean?
All
quite...
But you...
Well,
what... The beast...
I have had... Good evening. Do you know... Why do you hate Nurse Crane?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the...
So, you're not...
Nuns.
I have had a...
Don't be shy, handsome. What can...
I'm not looking for what you're selling.
All right then, but be quick, though...
Tell me about it.
Are you joking with me?
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war...
I always thought I was the master of my own fate.
You know, this money is not only for me.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all...
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start an...
Are you talking from...
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a
Why this
How can you speak about starvation if you...
Christina, have you been examined?
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your...
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry.
Considering your line of work, I assure you...
If it is going to happen, it will happen.
Do you know...
I don't know her, but...
You seem to...
Dorothea helps the sick people of what...
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask... I know what you're thinking. I know you understand what I'm saying. Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. A stubborn and mute compliment. Very well. The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. I cannot enter.
You say it's bored. Love you.
angel made flesh, I tell you.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask...
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this...
Really? Are you an...
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why see...
The place is not beautiful per se, but...
In what way, exactly? If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid...
Vivid, of course, yes.
Oh yes, the poignant distress.
Do you not think it...
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear...
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be...
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel?
What are your thoughts on the terrible...
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of...
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet, nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this.
Yes.
Most people fail to understand my perspective.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially...
If you say so.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both...
But are you not afraid?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No fleck...
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor.
If some misfortune came...
Well, you, for a start, my dear Doc.
May I ask you a few questions?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name.
What can you tell me about an old man?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'll leave you alone. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in. Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed.
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering.
Your father is worried about you, boy.
So my father actually worries about me then? Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
So,
I'm not bothered.
do you need any
Yes, I do.
You'll feel better.
I'm not sure I'm happy with...
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming.
But you are not
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety.
Have you tried speaking to Mr.
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave.
Forgive my bluntness, young man.
Why should I? I never...
I'm sure your father did his best when he found this house.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry?
If life here is so...
I don't go outside.
So that's why you stay at home all day?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. My father is...
Do you?
Yes.
Goodbye, young man.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
It's locked, all right.
It's locked alright, but I'm still gonna steal the money off his table. Just get something. I thought I did, but okay.
It's locked.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
You again?
Harry doesn't seem happy.
I've always put my son's interests above everything else.
You really love your son, don't you?
He's my pride and joy.
Since the criminal nature of your job...
No one will ever take my son away from me.
Do you have any?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop.
All right.
Don't you see we're on the same side?
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in
I have to admit your words have conviction.
And also, I like stealing everybody's stuff. So, let me in, let me in.
If you...
We've not been...
I am that...
How did you meet Nerd?
I'm her oldest friend in England.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you?
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than...
I know you fought for your country.
I know my days are numbered.
But Romania escaped the grasp.
It is not the country I fought for.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu?
Who knows? I have a
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know my...
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this.
This war won't last forever.
No. I have taught strength and determination.
Tell me everything you...
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out...
Who is she, really?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close...
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows...
Are you not worried for her?
She is as brave as she is tough. And clever, too. If only I had met her when I was young.
Are you in love with
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have...
So, Dorothy, she seems important.
More than you get.
Tell me...
I do not believe...
Goodbye, Mr. It's locked, all right.
A lot of stuff that is locked, all right. Run around pilfering everything first.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along?
I wonder if I could have kept him alive. Not very well. Apparently I'm a pretty shitty doctor.
We've lost the pulse.
Yeah, that's because he's dead.
He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could? Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
You're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
Consequences of my actions. I didn't do anything. Well, that is to say, I didn't kill anybody yet. Not in this part. Oh, I wish they had some kind of fast travel. That would make things a lot easier. What? What the f...
Oh, this one stinks already. It's on to us! It's on him! It's on him! Die, vermin!
I don't know what business you had here, but it's over.
Steady, boys, we've got one of them. Watch out for that tank!
You big. Just me and you, big boy. Okay, apparently you can shoot through trees. He's crazy.
I'll kill you! You're the leeches keep killing.
It's locked.
What in the...
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
see. Oh, I don't know how to friggin' hit that, but okay.
This is despicable.
Kill it, boy! Crush the leech, boys! Burn it, boys! I'll kill it! See how it likes a bit of fire! Burn it, boys! Crush the leech, boys! It's down! Finish it!
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion. Bravo. Very clever indeed.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady. The blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
A vampire?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall...
So we are Ekons?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampire...
Are you?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing...
I've been hearing a voice talking...
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such...
Excuse my fool.
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution. And I'm...
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the...
I don't understand.
That is a question only the one who made you can answer.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake.
The process is dangerous. It could even kill...
So me being a vampire?
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting.
Are there many
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at...
Will they all be as affable?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the sharp...
That sounds like a lesson from...
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience that it...
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your...
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep...
I've been away from London and England.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting.
The Spanish flu has...
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than this.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain. More than likely, it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
You make them sound...
More a society. And like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone. But it seemed they have...
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days. But all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to
I know this is beyond the pale.
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now. And 27 I shall remain.
And who bestowed...
My maker. He left this isle...
Very well. But I believe there is more to this.
A lady has to have...
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed...
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our... hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
And no one suspected you of the murders.
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
Why did you save me in the...
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
What type of vampire?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their base...
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created...
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
I bid you farewell. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient. Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it. I cannot enter. Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional...
Please, speak. But
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I...
Really? What makes you...
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recent...
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become...
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here, but it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy, with your expertise...
I admit it did occur to me. Blood seems to be the common factor in all of this.
I totally agree. We're in uncharted territory here. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but imagine the possibilities.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan.
Well, got a few collectibles. next time I play. If I remember, I'm gonna have to go fix these people up. I got some cold, some bronchitis, some fatigue. Yeah, I can probably fix them up. But not tonight. That's it, that's all.